warm welcome to Podcasts for Business. Podcast for Business is all about helping businesses to share, well, your knowledge, your passion and your expertise. A Podcast for Business is brought to you in partnership with Network B2B. With networking groups across the UK, Network B2B is all about helping business connect, share information and grow. For more information on Network B2B, just check out networkb2b.co.uk.
Like to share news about your business, event, seminar or workshop? Simply email steve@stevetwynham.com.
So a bit of Elvis there as well. I'm at the Crown Hotel in Harrogate, and there's a little great event going on here called Tea and Talk, supporting older people, and I'm with Kate from that charity. Kate, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
So people look like they're enjoying themselves in there. So tell me, what is Supporting Older People all about?
So we're a local charity. We work in Harrogate and Knaresborough. The charity is 37 years old, and we work with older people who most of whom live on their own and are lonely or isolated. So we do that in two ways. We have a befriending service. So we currently have over 100 people who are visited by anybody who wants to volunteer with us, really. So we've got over 100 volunteers as well. And that can be a visit an hour or two a week, and it makes such a difference to people's lives.
So you've got a fair few people here today. How many people do you reckon are here today at the Crown?
Well, the other part of what we do is our group activities, and this is part of that. So if you think we're working with 225 people altogether, well, we've got about 50 people here today.
Right. Okay.
And it's our Christmas tea and talk party. So, and that's very much for people who are able to get out and about, and everything we do in our group activities is about encouraging people to form friendships.
And Kate, so how do the people get here to an event like this? Do you have drivers that bring them, or how does it work?
Well, as you can imagine, getting 50 people to the Crown Hotel at the same time is a bit of a logistic nightmare. So we've all been out in our cars. We're a team of 3, so we've brought people in. We have a fantastic partnership with Harrogate Volkswagen, and they give us 3 cars every month to get people to this event. So that means we can get another 12 people there, and some people make their own way. So a real combination of sort of goodwill and hard work gets people here.
And today you've got a great singer on today, as we're in there. But like you say, an event like this is normally a tea and talk event. Yeah. So is that a guest speakers you get?
Yeah, we're always on the lookout for guest speakers because we want people to come and talk about something interesting, informative. You know, if a solicitor comes along, it's about the lighter side of making your wills, for example. But yeah, if anybody's got anything sort of interesting that they can do a talk on, we're always on the lookout for interesting speakers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and the day-to-day bit, apart from that, where you mentioned about you help, you support people in their homes and things. So is that visits or is that telephone befriending? What is it? Is it a mixture?
Mostly visits, because we had a pilot of telephone befriending, and when people found out that a real person could come and see them, that's what they really want.
That's what they really wanted.
So yes, it's very much if we want people who've got a couple of hours to spare a week or a fortnight. It's like a dating agency. We take 2 references and a DBS check from everybody who wants to volunteer for us. But then my colleague Julia really takes care to match people up with similar interests, so that makes sure then that you'll go and visit somebody that you'll have lots to talk about, and it's usually done in people's own homes. Or quite often people go out together. We found a couple buying skirts the other week in Marks and Spencer's. Things, or garden centres, or just things that interest them both, really.
I was going to ask you that, because it's not just a question of putting a person with a person. It's important that the interests are similar, and they've got something in common and a bit of rapport, I guess.
So we would never, if you're on our waiting list, say, you might not be the first person to be matched, because we make sure we get the right person. So a match takes as long as it takes, really, until the right person comes along for you. And how often are the frequency of visits then? Do we just go as required? We always say, the person, both the befriender and the befriendee, work it out themselves. So some people it's once a week, some people it's once a fortnight. My husband, who I've dragged in as a befriender, but he loves it, he works in London, so he makes sure he visits the person he's matched with when he's at home, and that can sometimes be every week or every fortnight. It's very flexible.
Okay, now I've got to ask you this because it's always a question that when you're talking to our charities, what about funding then? How are you funded to provide this brilliant service?
Yeah. So we have a contract with North Yorkshire County Council, but if you think our running costs are £70,000 a year, because we are a cheap service to run, really. But that's only for 11,000 is our contract. So
Right.
and that funds us to do some befriending in Harrogate and Knaresborough. Everything else is through grants, fundraising, coffee mornings, events, and we're really looking for local businesses to support us either in kind, like Harrogate Volkswagen do, or by, for example, it's really great if somebody helps us with a print run, because then in return we can put your name as a business on the back.
Okay.
Or really just organising an event, do a raffle for us, or and actually money definitely helps.
Money definitely helps. And again, local charities. What you know? And I used to work for a local charity, so you've got your staff doing a great job. You've got 3 of you. But what about trustees then? Do you have trustees?
So we have a trustee board. It's currently 7 people on the board, and it's a real mix of skills. But we are really looking for new trustees to add value to that group of people on the board.
Okay.
And where we're looking, particularly got gaps, is in HR or marketing, and from the local business community again. So we're really keen for people to come along who can help us in any way.
And one of the questions that I got asked when I was running a charity some time ago, because I invited somebody that I knew to be a trustee. One of the questions I got asked is, Steve, what is the commitment? How much time do I need to give?
We meet as a board 4 times a year, so once a quarter. So that's the first instance. Then trustees get involved in different things. So as you can imagine, I see my treasurer a lot, because we obviously deal with the money.
Yes.
And things. I see my chair once a month, really. And other people on the board, one person sort of supports us with governance. So she and I have regular meetings, probably about monthly. Ditto the person who's got involved with our fundraising. So really, board meetings, and I would expect to see you apart from that at least once a month, and support our events as well.
Okay, so you mentioned Harrogate and Knaresborough area. That's your key focus then?
It is. We're very much a local charity for local people. So our main areas of work are Harrogate, Knaresborough and the surrounding villages. Okay.
So if people want to get involved with you either as a volunteer or a trustee, how can they do that?
By calling us on 01423 531 490, or email, which my email is kate@supportingolderpeople.org.uk, or look on our website, which is www.supportingolderpeople.org.uk.
Okay, and they'll be the same if you want to donate any time, money, or whatever to the charity as well.
Absolutely, yes, we're just really grateful for any support that people can give.
Okay, well, brilliant. Thanks for joining us today. You better get back to the singing and have a great afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. I really hope you enjoyed it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast for business. If you would like to feature your business in Podcast for Business, I would love to hear from you. Simply email steve@stevetwynham.com. Podcast for Business is produced and presented by Steve Twynham. Copyright applies.